Stress is not our enemy. We need it to survive, even thrive. If you think about it, the only people without any stress at all are dead. Let's face it though, change is stressful, especially when we're experiencing so much change that feels out of our control. But what if stress and the stress that you're feeling could be a source of energy? What if it could help you feel more balanced and stable, even during change? That's what we're going to talk about in this third video in our mini-series, Employee's Guide to Thriving During Organizational Change. We'll talk about 3 actions that you can take to use stress as an energy source. Let's start with understanding what stress is. It tends to be a word we all use. So what is stress and what isn't it? One of the first people to define stress was Hans Selye, a psychologist back in the 1930s. He defined stress as a biological and psychological response or condition brought on by events outside the person, such as a marriage, a divorce, getting a new job, or losing a job, having a child, any of life's events. More recently, neuroscientist Andrew Huberman described it as a generalized system designed to mobilize other systems in the brain and the body. It's how our brain and body signal us, pay attention, because something is different and you need to know about it. He also notes that our stress response is generic. There isn't one stress response for one type of stress, like losing your job, and another type of response for a different stressor, like getting a promotion. Another description of stress that I particularly like is that stress is an unmet need. I like it because it allows me to assess and navigate the emotions that are influencing the stress that I feel. Therefore, we can debunk the myth of good stress and bad stress. The body and the brain's response is generic. It is the meaning that you, me, or anyone gives to the event, which determines how we interpret the physiological and the chemical changes that are occurring when our stress response is triggered. Let's just stop for a minute and think about the power of that. That because when we understand that we create the stress, we create the meaning that that event has, then you can use the stress of change as a potential energy source. That's what happened when researchers at Harvard University taught students who were preparing to write their graduate entrance exam to reappraise their nervousness and anxiety about the exam and reinterpret the physiological symptoms as a signal that they were ready for the exam. Test results showed that these students, the students that could reappraise that stress response, scored higher than the control group. The students also stated that their stress response on exam day helped their performance. So what are 3 actions that you can take during change to use stress as a source of energy? First, recognize that change is an essential part of our living experiences. It is through change that we gain and maintain our stability. We must change to live and thrive, but we don't live to be changed. Second, shift your thinking from stress as an outcome of an event or situation to an indicator of something different, like the check engine light on your car. It lets you know something's not as it should be, and you must investigate. Ask yourself, what meaning am I giving this situation and my response to the situation? What old beliefs or assumptions are influencing my interpretation of the event? The third action, manually turn off your stress response. Turning off your stress response is a manual process. The stress response is part of our built-in survival mechanism. It was designed to engage automatically, unconsciously, and quickly whenever we perceive a threat. However, it's only our executive conscious center, the prefrontal cortex of our brain, that can turn it off. So that means we need to go in and turn it off. And we have that capability. The first thing to do is to come into the present moment. Ask yourself, what emotions am I feeling? What are the body sensations that I'm feeling? Is there another way to interpret this event or situation? And finally, breathe. In a previous video, I talked about the power of the pause to disconnect from our automatic and unconscious responses and to consciously reconnect and interact instead of reacting. And I'll post that video in the show notes below. I know that navigating the events in our lives can be challenging. There are many changes we don't control, we never wanted, nor would we have asked for. However, when we better understand our stress response, learn to work with it, recognize that you and all of us are hardwired with the capability to de-escalate that response, and knowing how to channel its energy, we can maintain our health, balance, and stability in an uncertain world. In upcoming videos, we're going to explore some more strategies for reducing the detrimental effects of stress and how to use it as an energy source. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to click that like button. It really helps. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button to be notified when video number 4 in our new mini-series, The Employee's Guide to Thriving During Organizational Change, is posted. That's it for now. I'll see you soon.